Imagine this. It's the dead of night in ancient Rome. The emperor, cloaked in silence, sits by a flickering oil lamp, scribbling his private thoughts in a worn-out journal. His empire stretches from one end of the world to the other. He commands legions, battles enemies, and bears the crushing weight of power. But in these quiet moments, Marcus Aurelius isn't thinking about politics. He's thinking about pain, doubt, loss, purpose. The same things you think about today. Fast forward nearly 2,000 years, and here we are, still wrestling with the same problems. Overwhelming expectations. Anxiety about the future. Burnout. Loneliness. Grief. Marcus didn't have Instagram or office deadlines, but he did have chaos. And in the middle of that chaos, he wrote something beautiful, his Meditations. A book never meant to be published. Just a man's attempt to stay sane and good in a collapsing world. So what happens when we take this emperor's ancient wisdom and apply it to our modern lives? You're about to hear 7 powerful quotes that feel like they were written for us. For our stress, our fears, our daily struggles. And here's the thing, one of them might just shift the way you see your life. Stick around till the end, and let me know which quote hit you the hardest. Comment below and let it echo through time. You're 28. Your phone buzzes every 5 minutes, notifications, job emails, texts from your parents asking when you're getting promoted, when you're settling down. You scroll through LinkedIn and see your peers launching startups, buying houses, winning awards. You feel like you're sprinting on a treadmill that's always one step ahead. You're exhausted, not from doing too much, but from never feeling like you're enough. Now picture Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth. But even he couldn't escape the pressure. Every decision he made was judged by senators, generals, the public. Everyone expected him to be a flawless ruler, philosopher, father, warrior. Sound familiar? And yet, in the middle of all this, Marcus wrote one quiet reminder to himself. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Let that sink in. He wasn't chasing approval. He wasn't trying to perform. He just acted. With intention. With clarity. With integrity. This quote strips away the noise. You don't need a perfect resume, 10 side hustles, or 1,000 likes to justify your worth. You already know what's right. You already know what matters. Do it. So next time you're paralyzed by the feeling of not measuring up, remember Marcus. The emperor who didn't wait for the world's validation. He just showed up every day and chose to be good. It's late at night. You're lying in bed, eyes wide open, heart racing. You think about tomorrow, about deadlines, bills, and the uncertainty of the future. Your mind spins through every worst-case scenario. What if the economy crashes? What if I fail? What if I'm never enough? Your anxiety is louder than your body's need for rest. Now, let's travel back in time to Marcus Aurelius, sitting in his chambers after a long day of governing an empire in turmoil. Despite his power, he faced personal loss, endless wars, and pressure to lead. But when he looked to the future, he didn't crumble in fear. Instead, he wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." In a world without alarm clocks or smartphones, Marcus still had his share of uncertainty. But his solution was simple: focus on the now. If you have reason and strength today, trust that you'll have the same tomorrow. Worrying about the future robs you of the clarity and energy you need to handle today's challenges. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when your future feels so uncertain. But Marcus is telling us, the future doesn't need to be feared. Instead of forecasting disaster, we can control our response to it. So, when your mind races to the what-ifs, remember Marcus. What you have today is enough. You have the tools. You have the wisdom. Just focus on what's in front of you, and tomorrow will take care of itself. You've seen it before, people arguing in comment sections, fake smiles in influencer posts, jealousy seeping through the cracks of social media. The world online is a highlight reel of curated perfection, but beneath that, it's full of envy, criticism, and manipulation. You can feel it creeping into your own life, causing doubt, frustration, and unnecessary comparisons. Now, imagine Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire that stretched from Britain to Egypt. Surrounded by backstabbers in the Senate, military betrayals, and the pressures of holding absolute power. Yet he wrote in his meditations, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant." This wasn't a call for bitterness or a victim mentality. Instead, Marcus was preparing himself for reality. He understood that toxic people are a part of life. They exist in the Senate, in workplaces, and even online. But he didn't let them define him. So, when you're dealing with criticism on Instagram, or toxic office dynamics, think about Marcus. He saw people for who they were, and didn't internalize their negativity. Instead of being consumed by others' opinions, he focused on his own integrity. He chose to act with goodness, no matter how the world responded. In today's world, social media can make this feel almost impossible. But Marcus' advice is clear: don't let the behavior of others ruin your peace. Control how you respond. Cultivate inner strength, and remember, the people who try to drag you down are only revealing their own struggles. In the end, it's not about avoiding toxicity. It's about how you react to it, and whether you allow it to change your course. You're scrolling through social media, and there it is again, that perfect picture of someone else's life. Their vacation. Their car. Their perfectly curated success. And then you look at yourself, your achievements, and suddenly, it feels like nothing measures up. The constant cycle of comparison creeps in and, before you know it, you're questioning your worth. Marcus Aurelius wasn't immune to these pressures either. As a Roman emperor, his life was constantly scrutinized by others. But instead of letting comparison dictate his actions, he had this powerful reminder. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What does that mean? It means that what you focus on shapes who you are. If you constantly compare yourself to others, you're coloring your soul with envy, inadequacy, and self-doubt. But Marcus knew that your value doesn't come from external validation, it comes from within. He didn't measure his success by what others had. He measured it by his own actions, his growth, and his alignment with his values. In today's world, where success is often measured by followers or material gains, this advice is more relevant than ever. Every time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remember Marcus' wisdom. The life you're living, the progress you've made, and the person you're becoming, that's the only comparison that matters. So, let go of the pressure to keep up with everyone else. Instead, focus on your own path. Your thoughts shape your reality, so choose to fill them with purpose, gratitude, and self-empowerment. Failure. It's that feeling you know all too well. That knot in your stomach when you try something new and it doesn't work out. You wonder, what if I'm just not cut out for this? You replay every misstep, every missed opportunity, and convince yourself that success is a destination you'll never reach. It's easy to fall into that trap of fear, afraid to fail, afraid to take risks. But Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, had a different approach to failure. Instead of fearing it, he embraced it. In his meditations, he wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Let that sink in for a moment. Marcus wasn't worried about failing. What terrified him was not trying at all. Because, in his view, failure isn't the end, it's part of the journey. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. The true tragedy is not in the fall, it's in not even making the attempt. In today's world, where failure often feels like a stain on our reputation or a setback that's hard to recover from, Marcus reminds us that failure isn't personal. It's just a step along the way. A way to refine our skills, to sharpen our minds, and to strengthen our resolve. So, the next time you're scared of failure, ask yourself, what's worse? The fear of trying and failing, or the regret of never starting at all? Remember, success isn't defined by how many times you fall, it's defined by how many times you get back up. It feels like life's pulling you in 1,000 directions: work, relationships, obligations, and you're constantly being tossed around in a whirlwind of chaos. Each day blends into the next, and you wonder, is this it? Is this all there is? The sense of purpose, the spark that once drove you, feels distant, overwhelmed by the noise of daily life. But Marcus Aurelius understood chaos on a level most of us can't even imagine. Ruling an empire is no simple feat, especially when it's in turmoil. Yet Marcus didn't let external chaos shake his inner peace. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." At first glance, this might sound strange. Why would obstacles be the way? But Marcus wasn't just talking about physical barriers. He was speaking about the internal chaos we feel when life gets overwhelming. Every challenge, every struggle is an opportunity to find purpose, to act despite the chaos. Think about it. When everything seems chaotic, it's easy to lose focus. But Marcus teaches us that purpose isn't something you find in a perfect world. It's something you create through your actions, especially when life feels out of control. When everything is falling apart, that is the moment you have the power to choose who you want to be. Today, your chaos might look different. Perhaps it's the stress of work or the uncertainty of your future. But the lesson is the same: what stands in your way is not an obstacle, but a challenge that's pushing you forward. Your purpose is found in how you navigate the storm, not by avoiding it, but by learning to thrive in it. So, the next time life throws you off course, don't resist. Embrace it. Let the chaos show you what you're made of, and use it as fuel to move forward. It's easy to get lost in the noise of the world. The pressure to compromise your values. To bend the truth. To follow the crowd because it's easier than standing firm. You've been there. Maybe you took a shortcut at work, told a white lie, or pretended to be someone you're not. And while those moments might offer temporary relief, they always leave a lingering sense of discomfort. Deep down, you know you're not living in alignment with your true self. Marcus Aurelius had a clear understanding of this internal conflict. As the emperor, he had power over life and death, yet he was constantly reminding himself to live with integrity. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." For Marcus, being good wasn't about grand gestures or public approval. It was about the quiet, everyday choices. It was about living with honesty, virtue, and a sense of duty, no matter who was watching or what the world expected. This concept of integrity is more relevant today than ever. We live in a world that often rewards shortcuts, selfishness, and fame over substance. But Marcus' advice cuts through that noise. Stop debating what it means to be a good person, just live it. It's not about perfection, but consistent action. The small, seemingly insignificant decisions you make each day define who you are. When you stay true to your values, even when it's hard, you build a life that's free from regret. A life where your actions align with your thoughts, and your soul is at peace. It's not about impressing others. It's about impressing yourself with the strength to be consistent in doing what's right. So, ask yourself, are your actions aligned with the person you want to become? If not, it's time to stop the arguments in your head. Be the person you know you're meant to be. Marcus Aurelius' insights aren't just ancient wisdom, they're practical, timeless lessons for navigating our modern lives. From dealing with pressure and anxiety, to learning how to stop comparing ourselves to others, to embracing failure and living with integrity, his advice offers a blueprint for leading a life of purpose and strength. But the real power of his words isn't just in reading them, it's in living them. It's about remembering that every challenge, every setback, is a stepping stone to becoming the best version of yourself. The way you choose to respond in the face of adversity, how you find meaning in the chaos, and the way you define success, all of this is shaped by the choices you make today. So, if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain about your path, take a moment to reconnect with Marcus Aurelius' wisdom. What stands in your way? Can it become the way? How can you act today with greater integrity, strength, and purpose? Remember, the ultimate measure of a life well lived isn't about how others perceive you, it's about how you perceive yourself. The Emperor of Rome, despite all his power and riches, understood this. And now, it's your turn to put these principles into practice. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite quote from Marcus Aurelius that resonates with your current struggles or goals? Drop it in the comments below and let's keep this conversation going.